Welcome to Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where it's a gorgeous night for football. In fact, it's the first time LSU and Alabama have ever played a night game here. The Tigers have won the toss, and they have elected to defer until the second half, so Alabama will be getting the football first. And Renee Nadeau, as you mentioned, this LSU team certainly has to stop the run. However, we'll see how that unfolds. Right now on the sideline, Jordy Hultberg with a little note about this year's game based on the outcome of last year. Jordy?
Thank you very much, Lynn and Renee. It's great to be here in Tuscaloosa. A year ago, 31-0 was the score. Remember what happened after the game. Nick Saban went to shake the hands of then head coach Dennis Francione of Alabama. He wouldn't shake his hand, and then he said something to Nick Saban. All this because of a false internet rumor that was spread that Dennis Francione got Alabama players to actually believe. We know it wasn't true. In the locker room prior to the game, everyone said, remember 31-0. When you get tired, when you get frustrated, remember 31-0 from a year ago. So much at stake. Tonight starts LSU's Triple Crown. To get the Triple Crown, you have to win the first one, and the first one is tonight against Alabama, gentlemen.
Very well said, Jordy. The task is very plain and simple for LSU. The Tigers must win tonight, or anything next week and the week after against Arkansas the day after Thanksgiving will virtually be meaningless in terms of the Southeastern Conference Championship.
Exactly right. There's so much at stake, and this is the first game, and it's very most important game.
So the Tigers, wearing their gold and white with purple numerals, will kick off to the Crimson Tide, wearing the crimson helmets, the crimson jerseys, and the silver-white pants. LSU has not had a whole lot of success against Alabama over the years, and especially here in Tuscaloosa. Chris Jackson will send it downfield. Procro and Brooks are there to receive it. Decides to hold on, and once again the LSU special teams gets its job done with the automatic touchback. The Tigers have been one of the best in the country in covering kickoffs this year.
Exactly, and you get a large dose of Shad Williams early on. We'll see if Alabama can establish some type of run.
Brody Croyle, a 56% passer. He's thrown for 722 yards, only 8 interceptions against 13 touchdowns. He has been effective at times this year, but you're right, Renee, when you've got Shad Williams in the backfield leading the Southeastern Conference in rushing, that's the bell cow, at least to get the game started. Alabama is playing without the services with 2 or 3 important people. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Croyle will throw on first down. He's flushed early and pegs it short. It's incomplete, intended for Dre Fulgham. Here is your starting lineup for Alabama. Shad Williams, Tim Castile gets the start at fullback. Dre Fulgham, the split end, the flanker. Triandos Luke and Don Clark is the tight end. Atlas Harrion, Justin Smiley, J. Beard Klosner, Danny Marks, and Evan Mathis up front. And Marks is getting the start for Dennis Alexander at right guard. Alexander, a very good lineman at 6'6", 352 pounds, but he has been bothered with injuries the last couple of weeks. 2nd and 10. And a peg over the middle is caught by Luke for short yardage. Defensively, the Tigers line up this way. Marcus Spears and Marquise Hill on the corners. Kyle Williams and Chad Lavallee effective in the middle. Eric Alexander, Lionel Turner, and Cameron Vaughn are the active linebackers. And in the secondary, it's Corey Webster and Travis Daniels on the corners. Jack Hunt and LaRon Landry are the safeties. 3rd and 3, following the 7-yard hookup to Luke, who just made his 28th reception of the year. He leads Alabama in receiving. Croyle throws again. That one's batted up and incomplete. And LSU, on the 3rd down try, gets it done defensively as Eric Alexander applied the pressure.
Good pressure inside. That's important for the Tiger defense to make a statement. Unleash the beast. The big hit on the first series.
Bo Freeland will punt it. This will be his 51st kick of the season. He's averaging just under 41 yards per boot, and he's had 1 blocked this year. Skylar Green, who leads not only the Southeastern Conference, but the nation in punt returns, is back to get it for the Tigers. He has not had a chance to run punts back the last couple of weeks. Perhaps this one high, hanging from the 25. Up to midfield. Boy, is he exciting. That's about his season's average. Skylar Green out of West Wego gives LSU very good field position to open the game offensively. And Matt Mock quietly has become one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the country. A 65% completion ratio, 1,924 yards, and a very good touchdowns to interception ratio as well. Justin Vincent gets the start at tailback.
You can see the Tigers very diverse offensively, keeping Alabama off balance. A very good pursuit team.
Mock throws on first down. It's out into the left flat. Devery Henderson makes a couple of moves and steps forward for about 4. Justin Vincent getting the start at tailback tonight, but there are 3 others who can go. David Jones is the fullback, Devery Henderson, Michael Clayton, and Eric Edwards, the tight end. Up front, it's Andrew Whitworth, Rudy Neiswanger, Ben Wilkerson, Stephen Peterman, and Rodney Reed.
And a good matchup you're going to be looking at, number 98, Antoine Oda, number 98, will match up with Whitworth. He will single block him and hope he can handle him. If he can do it, that'll open up some other opportunities for other offensive linemen for the Tigers.
2nd and 6. Mock goes to the air again. We have not had a running play yet. And the Tigers get a first down as Devery Henderson hauls in another one. Devery Henderson over the last 2 or 3 games is becoming the most popular receiver for the Tigers. Mark Anderson, the left defensive end. Anthony Bryant and Jeremy Clark are in the middle, and the right side end is Antoine. And then you got DeMeco Ryans, Freddie Roach, and Derek Pope, and they've got some very good linebackers. In the secondary, Charlie Peppra, Anthony Madison, Roman Harper, and Charles Jones. It's Antoine Odom, the other defensive end. He leads the team in sacks. Vincent struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. May have gotten there. Ryans, the weak side linebacker, who is the leading ball stopper for this Alabama defense, makes his 109th tackle of the year.
And you might have got a good look at number 97 that time. That was Anthony Bryant, 6'3", 345-pounder. He plays that 3 technique, much like Chad Lavallee does for the Tigers. They have to handle him. He's a load, and he's all over the field. They have to handle him at number 98. But Jimbo Fisher says probably Alabama's front 7 are the best.
2nd and long, play action, and a pass goes to the right side. It is grabbed there by Michael Clayton. Michael Clayton, following some blockers, is able to move forward, and I believe he's got enough for a first down. That play didn't look like much at the start. Charlie Peppra eventually made the tackle, but Michael Clayton got a couple of downfield blocks and ran hard for the first down, or what appears to be so.
And what helped is the running ability of the offensive lineman. Got out in front of Michael Clayton quickly and gave him some space to run.
The Tigers have been so good in opening drives this year, and they have been one of the best first quarter scoring teams in the country. 1st and 10 for LSU at the 25-yard line. 12:29 left in the first quarter. Mock throws another one, and that one may have slipped out of his hands as he overshot Devery Henderson on the left side. Well, we've had only 1 running play between the 2 offensive series so far.
Well, Charlie Peppra came up for that and was ready to eliminate that pass intended for Devery Henderson. But yes, they need to go back to the run. The offensive line has been blocking very well and been controlling that line of scrimmage. Keep in mind, Matt Mock, 90% against Louisiana Tech Lynn. Remember, he was 14, completed his first 14 passes against the Bulldogs.
Chiron Carey is in the backfield. Mock to the air. Over the middle, caught by Henderson. First down inside the 10. Devery on the slant, hauls it in. He has received 3 here in this opening drive.
Great shot on the slant by Devery Henderson, and he gets the inside shoulder of the defensive back, makes the grab with his hands, and nice toss pass, nice touch pass by Matt Mock.
LSU has outscored its opponents 92-13 in the combined first quarters this year. The Tigers are in the red zone. Justin Vincent gets the ball, dives ahead to the 5, to the 4, and maybe struggles to the 3-yard line. The 5'10", 208-pounder out of Lake Charles, working his way up the middle.
Joe Kynes, the defensive coordinator who was once the head coach at Arkansas, and plays kind of a safe defense. He does not blitz very much, but he does play gap control, kind of frees those linebackers and takes away that open space for the wide receivers to run across.
Vincent has averaged 6 yards per carry this season. He became a feature back about a month ago when Adai and Carey went down with injuries. Second and goal. Vincent over the right side is spun down as he gets to the 3-yard line. Derek Pope made the tackle, the strong side linebacker, one of the seniors on this Alabama team, a 6', 223-pounder, and he's been good here for a long time.
Derek Pope's a guy you see a lot of, Lynn, and in fact, he had 17 stops against Oklahoma, 14 against Northern Illinois. He's the bell cow for that Alabama red defense.
Joseph Adai has entered the game at tailback. He is standing to Mark's left. Third and goal from the 3. Mark looking, firing over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Mark was looking off to the right side and then tried to work it over the middle, and Michael Clayton could not hold on to it, and so LSU must settle for a field goal try.
That's something you don't see very often. Michael Clayton let it get too close to his body, usually catches it with his hands. I don't think he was expecting the pass. I think he was more of a decoy for Devery Henderson, and Matt Mark just decided to go with Michael. Field goal attempts.
Ryan Goday, or excuse me, this looks like Chris Jackson. Chris Jackson attempting the three-pointer, and it is true. So LSU gets 3 on the opening drive. 10:34 to go in the first quarter. The Tigers get on the scoreboard first in Tuscaloosa with a 3-0 lead. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa, where Chris Jackson's first field goal of the season has given LSU a 3-0 lead. Say, Tiger fans, if you can't make it to all the LSU home basketball games but still want to check out the exciting action, here's a great idea, a Super Saturdays package. For just $125, you get 4 tickets to all 5 of the Tigers' Saturday games, including matchups against Louisiana Monroe, Southern Mississippi, Alabama, Mississippi State, and Arkansas. For more information or to purchase your Super Saturdays package, log on to lsusports.net. Chris Jackson had only attempted 1 prior field goal, but he hit the short one here, and the Tigers have a 3-0 lead.
You know, one matchup you may want to watch when Bama gets the ball back. Justin Smiley, number 78, matching up with Chad Lavalley. Both are All-Americans this year.
Pro throw will not come out with it. Jackson has made the end zone on his 2 kickoffs tonight. So Alabama, trailing 3-0, puts its offense on the field for the second time.
Brody Croyle with 646 yards, 7 scores, 63% the last 2 games. So he's been kind of hot, 72% against the Ole Miss Rebels. So he can get hot. Of course, he has injury problems this year, and LSU's going to try to really exploit that. And he'll take hits as he releases the ball. They get pressure.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Croyle has 1 setback behind him. And he tosses to Sean Williams. Trying to turn the corner, and he's dragged down. Oh, what a play. Coming off the defensive end, Marcus Spears.
And he came off the block of a pretty good offensive lineman, Evan Mathis. As you can see, they're all slanting, filling a gap, and Spears comes off that block and makes the stop. Good pursuit angle by Marcus Spears. What a great first step he has. He's got a lot of Chad Lavalley in it, doesn't he?
2-year letterman out of Baton Rouge. Cat quick at 6'4", 297 pounds. A loss of 3, second and 13. Brody Croyle with a long count. Backpedals, and he's hit as he throws, and it comes up short. Tigers again getting after the quarterback, and Brody Croyle took a big knock by Cameron Vaughn as he released the ball.
And that's exactly what the Tiger defense is hoping to do, coming on the blitz. He did not have time, too many bodies to account for the Alabama offense. And here comes Cameron Vaughn, putting his number 46 around that number 12, and he's going to see a lot of that tonight.
46 is a little bigger than number 12, isn't it?
I'd say the odds are go with 46.
Brody Croyle, a sophomore quarterback. He threw for more than 1,000 yards last year. He's pressured again. He heaves it deep. It's incomplete, intended for Fulgham. Fulgham at a half step on the defender. Travis Daniels was there. Fulgham got his hands on it, couldn't haul it in. And for the second time, the Tigers will receive a punt in the first quarter with a 3-0 lead.
Good job of Travis Daniels finding the ball in flight. That's the best mark of a defensive back, finding it in flight. Well, I'll tell you what, he looked like he lost it. Fulgham could have come down with it. He found the ball, but just a missed opportunity by Alabama.
Freeland will punt it to Skylar Green again. Green brought the first one back 26 yards. This one is short and end over end, and Green's got some running room. Looking to find a wall. None really develops, but he slips through a couple of Bama tacklers on his way inside the 25, all the way down to the 23-yard line. Early electricity in the punt return game by the Tigers, and we have come to expect that from Skylar Green. It was the punter, Bo Freeland, who may have saved a touchdown.
Skylar Green, the thing he wants to do is just catch the ball, he said, and then look for Green. Hat on hat. This is something he loves to do. Breaks the first wave of tacklers and uses that outstanding speed. Had it not been for that tackler, we may be kicking an extra point.
So LSU, which started its first drive at the Alabama 49, opens this series at the Alabama 23. Justin Vincent is the setback behind Matt Mock. Mock will throw. Looking. Shooting. Caught inside the 2. Touchdown! LSU! Touchdown! Michael Clayton!
Matt Mock with touchdown throw number 20, and Michael Clayton is 7th touchdown grab of the campaign.
So LSU quickly gets out to a 9-0 lead. Chris Jackson's extra point is up, and it is good. Well, the Tigers, who have been so good in the first quarter, have 10 first period points in Tuscaloosa. Here's the first touchdown of the game, a lunging touchdown catch by Michael Clayton. Score tonight.
Can't see it, but Devery Henderson goes in motion. Michael Clayton runs a skinny post right on the inside and could not stay with them. That was the left cornerback, Charlie Pepra. Nice grab by Michael Clayton, and that would a deadly duo. Mock to Clayton.
So the Tigers have done exactly what they wanted to do. 2 possessions and 2 scores. Alabama now has been outscored in the first quarter this year, 62-54, counting the 10-0 deficit tonight. Tyrone Prothro and Brandon Brooks are back to receive the kickoff. Chris Jackson's first 2 kicks have not been returned, and this one won't be either. So Chris Jackson 3 times has shown the long leg on kickoffs.
Chris Jackson just needed some experience and confidence. He's doing a good job.
Shaud Williams has had very few opportunities to get going in this game. 1 rush, -4 yards on the tackle behind the line by Marcus Spears. Renee, I've got to think that Shaud Williams will see his share of carries in this series because Alabama has done nothing against one of the best defenses in the country.
Well, he leads the SEC with 14 scores of the season.
Spread formation, 1 setback. This is Ken Darby. Ken Darby dancing for some yardage out to the 25. Darby will be the backup tonight for Shaud Williams in place of Ray Hudson. Hudson, according to the local media, will not play tonight. He has been arrested for possession of marijuana and will not play tonight. And Alabama's not saying anything about his status for the remainder of the year. So it's Ken Darby behind Shaud Williams.
That was a big loss by Ray Hudson. He was arrested this past Wednesday, so Darby steps into that role.
2nd down and 5. Darby trying to dance for some yardage, gets very little if anything. Marquise Hill plugged the hole in a hurry. There he is, big number 94.
He's done such a great job he's getting better and better each and every game. And Marquise Hill, he'll slide inside about 20% of the game as a defensive tackle. When that happens, Lynn, look for Kirsten Pittman to come in and bring the speed off the edge. But he can play defensive tackle or end. Very versatile, 6'7", 295.
Both teams make multiple substitutions on 3rd and 5. LSU leads 10-0 with just over 8 minutes remaining in the first period. Brody Croyle Retreats to throw. Slings it over the middle. He's got a receiver for a first down. Well, the Tigers cannot prevent that third down reception by Luke, Triandos Luke, who is the #1 receiver for Alabama this year. Now they say that ball hit the ground and came out. It's being ruled incomplete.
Well, there's a flag. There'll be a question on this play, and Brody Coyle well unhappy as he discusses things with.
Yeah, I think the catch was a good one, but there is a penalty marker down for holding. So it does take away the catch from Triandos Luke. And of course the Tigers will accept the penalty to prevent the third down conversion.
One thing you see from Alabama offensively is they run the same play from different variations. They'll change motion, things like that. And the reason why they do that comes from Mike Schuler's background in NFL football. He learns a lot from Papa Don as well.
Alabama has been a 37% third down conversion team this year. Croyle slings it out into the left flat. The Tigers are all over the receiver very early. Just nowhere to go as Dre Fulgham made the reception, but LSU got a lot of defenders out on that right side very, very quickly.
And the thing you have to watch with that is Alabama may come back with some kind of draw play or reverse and kind of slow down a pursuit of a very good pursuing LSU Tiger defense.
There's a happy Tiger early. LSU leading 10-0 with just over 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Bo Freeland has had 2 kicks returned a long way by Skylar Green. Let's see if he gets an opportunity here. Freeland has learned his lesson and bounces this one out of bounds. They will mark it near the 36-yard line. So we will step aside for a moment. 6:50 remains in the first period. The Tigers have had 2 possessions and 2 scores. As we near the midway point in the first quarter, LSU leads 10-0 over the Alabama Crimson Tide. LSU fans, Cox Sports Television has got your Tigers by the tail. Tune in next Sunday as the Tigers and the Ole Miss Rebels battle for the Western Division lead. You don't want to miss the huge SEC matchup at 7:30 next Sunday right after the Hornets game. Matt Mauck under center with Joseph Vincent in the eye behind him. Mauck will throw again. Fires. Clayton's got it. Looking for yardage. Can't get a block, and he is spun down, but he appears to have a first down near the 47-yard line. D'Amico Ryans, that active weak side linebacker, made yet another stop.
We talked about that front 7. Alabama second behind LSU in the SEC with 25 sacks, but LSU is equal to the pressure right here. Coming back on the route is Clayton, trying to make something happen here, but a good stop in the middle, preventing a long run by Ryans.
1st and 10 for LSU. The Tigers have been a pass first, run second team in this first quarter, and it has been effective. Now on first down, Justin Vincent gets a try, stutters, and then dives ahead into Alabama territory before the right cornerback Anthony Madison knocked him down. Madison, a 5'9", 171-pound junior, and Justin Vincent, who has become one of the feature backs in this Tiger offensive set, picks up about 6, 2nd down and 4.
Leads the Tigers 383 on the ground, averaging 6 yards per tote. He had 127 against Alabama, which really lit the fuse for him.
Carey and Adai and Vincent and Broussard all available for duty today. Barrington Edwards as well. And the Tigers are deep. Skylar Green makes a reception, but there is a penalty marker down. And we'll check the infraction at the line of scrimmage. If the play stands, it'll be a first down for the Tigers. I believe LSU is going to be called for an illegal shift. A little bit of an early start.
A little motion, maybe that might have something to do with that great route, but Tigers will step it back. Matt Mauck has been sharp thus far. He's really been having an outstanding, picked it up where he left off against Louisiana Tech. Really been doing well.
Skylar Green leads the game. 2nd down and 10 basically for LSU. 5:36 to go, first quarter. 10-0 Tigers. They've had the ball twice, and they have picked up field goals by Jackson and a touchdown on the reception by Clayton. Mauck looking, swings it out to Vincent, and that's an incomplete pass. That ball was thrown behind Justin Vincent, a bit wide, and it's 3rd and 10.
Tigers #1 in the SEC. Time of possession, 32 minutes, 41 seconds. Lennon, the ball control. The first score was a 9-play drive, and they can really move down the field very methodically and score. Doing a good job thus far. 3rd and long right here, big play.
Renee, has it surprised you a bit how often the Tigers have thrown in the first quarter? Certainly, they've been very successful in this game plan.
Yeah, it really does, because they've had a lot of success running the ball and, haven't tried much of that thus far.
Mock needs 10 to keep the drive alive. Good pocket, fires, and that one's dropped. Thrown a little bit low, but it was catchable, and Skylar Green went down around his knees, but could not reel it in. So for the first time, the Alabama Crimson Tide defense fails to give up points.
And Matt Mock was facing 7 men dropping back for the pass, and Skylar Green should have caught this and did a little curl right on the seam, and Mats were not happy with this. His second incompletion, both should have been caught.
Brandon Brooks is back to receive the punt from Donnie Jones, one of the best in the country. The left footer kicks a sidewinder. It's loose, and it's still loose. And Alabama got it back, I believe. The Crimson Tide very fortunate to recover that bobble by Brooks. Donnie Jones, by the way, there's Brooks coughing it up. Looked like the Tigers had a chance to get it.
Adrian Mays with an opportunity, and Ramsey Robinson may have come up with it, number 17, with
Well, just to finish the story on Donnie Jones, he's a semifinalist for the Ray Guy Award, signifying the nation's best punter. 1st and 10 for Alabama. Croyle pressured again, slings it out short, and the Tigers are all over the receiver. Tyrone Prothro has just made his 9th catch of the year, but LSU had a lot of people around Prothro, the freshman. Look how LSU responds to this pass in the flat.
And this is just outstanding reading by Corey Webster, who is a Thorpe finalist, one of the best defensive backs in the country. May have turned an ankle right there, but that was just great reading by Corey Webster coming up from his cornerback position.
This is a very young Alabama team. LSU with a nice mixture of veterans and youngsters coming along quite nicely. 2nd down, and better than 10. Bama goes back to the ground. It's Shad Williams, and the Tigers knock him down with very little advance. Shad Williams, a 5'9", 189-pound senior. 114 yards per game as Kyle Williams leaves on a passing situation, and LSU gets a couple of more defenders in the game.
And the thing is, LSU must approach this again like they went against Cadillac Williams. Shad Williams, kind of similar. Shad Williams maybe not as strong as Cadillac is, but a dangerous runner, leads the SEC. And boy, I tell you what, total package. He followed Dennis Francione over from Texas Tech to Alabama, and he's done a great job here.
3rd down and 12. Croyle hit, pulls away, comes up firing, and slings that one into the dirt. Brody Croyle was pressured by Randall Gay, and the Tigers have gotten to know Mr. Croyle very early in this first quarter.
And Croyle is showing a lot of guts. He has his left separated shoulder, which will require off-season surgery. He's sticking in there strong and stepping up in the pocket, taking hits. But he really can't do much. The Tigers are all over him. Great pursuit and pressure by LSU.
Freeland will kick for the 4th time. This one very high and very, very short. Skylar Green makes a wise, fair catch up at the 46-yard line. Every possession for LSU has started on the Alabama side of midfield. And the 3 Alabama possessions have not started farther than the 20-yard line.
And they have not had much success moving the ball, moving the chains at all. And you can credit a lot with the offense with really holding possession of the ball. Matt Mock doing a great job stepping up. We mentioned that. He leads the SEC in pass efficiency, 156.66, and 20 touchdowns, 7 picks. 65% of his tosses are successful.
Chiron Carey takes the handoff, looking for some running room. Now has to duck ahead for a couple. Chiron has been in the boneyard for a month or so.
Got to pair fresh legs, though, the Dukes. Nice little counter play and with Chiron. I just want to get him something safe, get him back, and knock the rust off a little bit. I'll take a couple of plays, but he'll be fine.
Charlie Pepra, a freshman All-America a year ago, at left cornerback, made the stop for Alabama. Justin Vincent has replaced Chiron Carey. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Second and long. Mark, short drop. Slings it short. He's got Clayton who leans ahead, and I think he's got enough for a first down. Clayton was tackled by Carlos Andrews, the strong safety, but Michael leaned in and has enough to move the chains.
While in Alabama coming with a 3-man rush, meaning a dropping 8. And Michael Clayton finds a little cavity, and Matt Mark hits him. Michael Clayton with 4 grabs, 51 yards, including a score.
First and 10 LSU, looking to pad a 10-0 lead in the first quarter. Mark backpedaling, has a cup, slings it deep, and the receiver, Clayton, was unable to turn upfield, and now a penalty marker is thrown on the sideline. That could be defensive holding, as Clayton was running a down and out and up and never got the up part. He got the down, he got the out, but he never got up.
Yeah, that defensive back was beating Lynn, and I think he tried to force him out of bounds and use that sideline as another extra defender, and may have got to grab him a little bit.
Now they're going to wave it off. They say the pass was not catchable. That gentleman doesn't believe it. What?
Well, you came to watch the Tigers. You're entitled to your opinion.
Absolutely. By the way, LSU continues to travel extraordinarily well. Mark on second and long is pressured and has to sling this one away. And that's going to be pass interference. Or excuse me, going to be intentional grounding, as Antoine Odom was about to sack Mark back at the 50. And Mark, I don't think, had moved outside the tackle box.
Antoine Odom, a tremendous first step. He came unscathed from the outside. He's got 7 sacks, which is tied for first in the SEC. And boy, he really put a hot hat on torso hit on Matt Mark.
Antoine Odom had 10 sacks last year to lead Alabama, 7.5 sacks this year. He's a 6'5", 273-pound junior.
Show you how good this guy was. Odom, 20.5 sacks on his career. Derek Thomas, 52 sacks. What an outstanding player he was.
Well, you need to dial up a 3rd and 30 play right now.
I don't think we'll be looking at a draw play then.
Mark has time, now gets rid of it, and a flag is thrown as the reception is made. Joseph Adai made the catch for very little yardage. There's a penalty marker now, probably holding against LSU, but we will check the rendering, and the flag does go against the Tigers. Now Alabama has a choice to make here. It can accept some yardage, allowing LSU another 3rd down try, and I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama does give LSU another down here.
Yeah, push him back a little bit further.
Well, they do have the punt receive team on the field, though.
We can look at his last play and see what transpired.
They'll go ahead and take the football.
Andrew Whitworth. He had a hole right there, but let it go. Also, Nicewanger was tied up.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple of holes in there somewhere.
Yeah, so if it wasn't Andrew, perhaps Rudy Nicewanger may have been tied up with Anthony Bryant, number 97.
Donnie Jones will smack this one. He hits an end-over-end kick. Brooks makes the fair catch near the 12-yard line. 4 possessions for Alabama in the first quarter. 2 of them have started at the 20 following touchbacks, and 2 more inside the 20 following punts. How's that for field position?
Well, you know, the thing is they haven't had much to work with and work with a long field, but Brody Croyle, I can see him going back to those wide receivers, trying to open up that running attack, because LSU is really, really closed to running lanes for Alabama.
Brody Croyle was the first Alabama freshman quarterback to throw for 1,000 yards since 1979. He did that last year. 2nd and 10, Alabama in the eye. Croyle with nice play action, slings it to the outside, and he tosses it over the head of the receiver Triandos Luke. Croyle did a nice job of ball faking. Corey Webster in coverage along with Jack Hunt. Luke was open, but the ball sailed on the sophomore quarterback, Brody Croyle.
Good job by Jack Hunt rolling over there from his strong safety position, picking up the wide receiver, and Brody Croyle with the play action pass opened things up, bought himself some time for the pressure of LSU.
Croyle, who wears number 12, was the first player to commit to Alabama in the Dennis Francione area, or era rather. Down to 4 on the play clock. Shad Williams with his best run of the night. LaRon Landry was among 2 Tiger tacklers along with Chad Lavallee.
And LaRon Landry, the leading tackler among the Tigers. Outstanding job for the true freshman out of Huntville. That's his 52nd stop of the season.
3rd down and 3.
Again, 11 stops against Mississippi State, 9 against both Florida and Auburn. He has really come on and become a quarterback back there with Jack Hunt.
We slide under the 1-minute mark in the first quarter. LSU leads 10-0. 3rd and 3. Croyle does not get enough for the first down. I think they're going to mark him a little bit short as Chad Lavallee was latched around his ankles. Now they inch that ball forward a bit, and this may be much closer than I thought originally.
I think it's still going to be a little short, but decision time, and it's still a little early in the game.
The officials call for the sticks. Alabama is averaging 27.6 points per game. It's been a pretty balanced offense for the Crimson Tide this year. 174 yards rushing, most of that from Shad Williams, and 190 yards per game passing.
See Brody Croyle talking with Mike Shula, pretty good quarterback coach in his own right. Coached Mike Fiedler, Jay Fiedler over with the Miami Dolphins, also was a tight end coach with the Bears.
They're short by the length of the football, and Alabama puts its punting unit on the grass. Pretty good balance in scoring this year. 15 rushing touchdowns, 14 passing for Alabama.
Yeah, that's a pretty balanced offense, and they're going to get better. Sanctions took a bite out of Alabama. They had only 37 signings the last couple of years, and Mike Shula's going to get him back. He was a 12th round pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and if you look at all the great quarterbacks at Alabama, Joe Namath, Jay Barker, Scott Hunter, Snake Stabler, who I spoke with before the game, the most touchdown tosses in one season, 1985, was Mike Shula.
Freeland hits it. Skylar Green runs up on it and is tackled immediately. Very nice coverage downfield by Chris James. There he is, number 32. It's a 36-yard punt and a 3-yard return, and the Tigers have the ball at their own 45. LSU has enjoyed marvelous field position in the first quarter with a 10-0 lead, and barring a penalty, this will be the final play of the first quarter. 7 seconds remain. Mock slings it out to Henderson. Debris goes down after a short pickup. Charlie Jones, the free safety, got to him. And that is the end of the first period. It's been a good one for LSU. 10-0 Tigers over the Crimson Tide from Alabama. This is the first night game ever between LSU and Alabama right here. Welcome back, everyone. The Tigers' 3 first quarter possessions, 2 scores, leading 10-0 as we get the second stanza underway. LSU with only 18 yards rushing. Look at the passing totals, though. The Tigers with 105 yards total offense in the first half, and they've shut Alabama down, just 23 total yards. Time of possession about even.
First down is very important. As we notice right there, Bama yet to get a first down.
Alabama has run 15 plays for only 23 yards in the first quarter. And Renee, it surprises me a little bit. The Tigers went to the air 14 times in the first quarter. That's a 56 pass pace for Matt Mauck and LSU tonight. Not this time. And not much running room for the Tigers as Kyle Tatum, the left tackle, gets the ball carrier Vincent. Let's go down to Jordy Holtberg.
Well, thank you very much. During that last meeting between Nick Saban and his offensive squad, he said, guys, look, they cannot stop you. You have stopped yourself in the 2 drives where you've had to punt the football away. Execute. Let's pick up good yardage on first down, and let's make sure you catch the football. Watch the ball into your hands, gentlemen.
Jordy, thank you very much. 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers from midfield.
Bama drops back in zone, expecting Tigers come underneath.
Only a 3-man rush. The pass out to the flat. Joseph Adai gets rid of one tackler and takes on a big hit and leans forward. That's going to be very, very close to a first down. Derek Pope, the strong side linebacker, laid the lumber to Joseph Adai. That was a pretty big collision down there.
Boy, he is mean and nasty. Derek Pope, 73 stops coming into this game, and that's going to be a little shy of the first down, as you said. As a freshman in junior college, Matt Mauck dropping back, good protection, slings it out here to Adai, and he just tries to dance, breaks the first tackle. Won't break Pope's tackle, I'll tell you that. Tigers are going to go for it, Lynn. A lot of confidence up front in that O-line.
Alabama has surrendered 5 of 11 fourth down conversions this year defensively. Vincent is the tailback, and Mauck takes a timeout. 13:33 remains in the second quarter. From our vantage point, we never know if the Tigers went to the line of scrimmage to try to draw the penalty and then knew that they could go talk about it with the timeout.
Well,
and apparently now they will put the punting unit on the field.
Boy, had they gone for it and not gotten it, that would have really pumped up Alabama, only trailing by 10 points, and they had a shorter field to work with here, close to the 50-yard line.
Well, field position has been so advantageous to LSU in the first half, and I think the Tigers thought that to continue that pattern would be more of a reward situation than risking it on fourth down. Cox Sports Television has got your New Orleans Hornets action. Watch as the Hornets battle the New Jersey Nets. Keep track of the Hornets as they take the party on the road by tuning into Cox Sports Television. Tuesday at 6 o'clock, the Hornets and the Nets, right here, live on Cox Sports Television, your home for New Orleans Hornets NBA basketball.
Donnie Jones hopes to cough and corner it, or maybe try to pin it down somewhere inside the 10-yard line. He's pretty proficient at this.
Brandon Brooks is back to receive it. He's only run 4 back this year. Shawn Williams has 19 punt returns and a pretty good average, but it's Brooks tonight. Very high short kick. Brooks makes the fair catch at the 20. And so a net punt of only 25 yards, but no chance for a return.
Well, Alabama came out pretty well on that exchanges now and get pretty fair field position.
Well, there's Broadway Joe.
Joe Willie. Wow. Guaranteed a Super Bowl victory and came through.
Alabama trailing 10-0. Joe Namath, one of the many great quarterbacks who have played here over the years.
Had a chance to chat with old buddy Snake Stabler before the game, and he's doing the broadcast radio for Alabama, and it's always good to see the old slinger, and I think Snakes thinks he can still throw him a few out there.
10-0 Tigers on a short field goal following the first possession. That one was booted through by Chris Jackson, his first field goal of the year. And then later, Michael Clayton on LSU's second possession caught a touchdown pass from Matt Mauck. And that's where we stand right now. Say, Tiger fans, make plans to attend the annual Tigerama featuring the Golden Band from Tigerland. This year's event takes place on November 20th. It starts at 8 o'clock in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Tickets are just $10, and it's sure to be a great time for Tigers young and old. For tickets, contact the PMAC box office, 225-578-8205. Tigerama right around the corner.
You know, this Alabama team, Lynn, is one of those teams in the SEC that has a lot of former Coaches, head coaches, Joe Kynes, the offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator was the head coach at Arkansas. Dave Rader, the offensive coordinator, was a headmaster at Tulsa. And Sparky Woods, who was at South Carolina, is the running backs coach. And Charlie Harbison, who once was the DB coach for LSU, now tutors their wide receivers for the Crimson Tide.
You know, Renee, before the ball game, as we were getting ready and they were announcing scores to this crowd, which probably will be capacity around 83,000, the two largest cheers from this crowd came when the Texas A&M and Auburn scores were announced. Both teams lost, and the place erupted. Texas A&M, of course, no favorite of Alabama fans with the departure of the former Alabama coach, and Auburn, of course, will never get any respect from Alabama for obvious reasons. To the ground, and Sean Williams turns the wing for the first time and runs for better than 10 out across the 32, the 33-yard line. That is the longest run of the game for Alabama. LaRon Landry horse-collared him.
Good blocking. Good pull by Smiley. Number 78, good block in the corner right there, knocking him out and creating a lane for Sean Williams to run through. And you see that good running, blocking by Smiley. Boy, he can really pick it up and run for a 6'4", 301-pounder. From left guard.
Ken Darby, the freshman running back, has replaced Sean Williams. That's the first down for Alabama. McClain in motion. Darby coming to the near side. Is hit and goes down. Pressure early from Marcus Spears, and then Eric Alexander came up to get the job done. Marquise Hill was also there.
Got a good story on Eric Alexander. Talked to him this week, and he said that they don't even talk about Alabama. They say, let's have our best Tuesday practice. Marquise Hill turns it in, and Eric Alexander makes the stop. He said, the players think, let's have our best Tuesday practice. Then let's have our best Wednesday practice. They try to improve every day, every week. And Coach Saban said that this was the best week of practice all season. Eric Alexander has really done a great job.
McClain and Darby are in the backfield, second and long. Brody Croyle throws it out to the right side, and the catch appears to be made by Triandos Luke. Triandos Luke had 27 catches before the ball game, averaging 13.4. He has caught 4 touchdowns, and he really took a smack after this one.
And Croyle dropping back and throwing to the sidelines, did take a hit from Eric Alexander. And those little hits are going to take its toll. We mentioned he has a left separated shoulder that he cannot attend to until the season conclusion. But he's a tough, gutsy performer.
Darby is standing to Croyle's right. Croyle gets rid of it quickly, and he finds Trey Fulgham. Fulgham is pushed out of bounds before he can get to the first down. Trey Fulgham, who's second on the club with 25 receptions, a 6'1", 217-pound senior. Randall Gay was right in Fulgham's jersey to keep him from getting the first down.
And Fulgham is much like a David Boston of the San Diego Chargers, a big, strong, powerful guy. Kind of runs like a tight end. He's really, really low for a one-on-one block tackle.
This will be the 6th punt of the first half for Bo Freeland. Skylar Green lets that bounce out of bounds. So we'll take a break as the Tigers will put their offense on the field near the 17-yard line. There's a happy Tiger. 10-0 LSU over Alabama early in the second period.
Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS for individual game tickets.
Take on Alabama in a tape delay today at 5.
10-0 LSU. We've got 11 minutes separating the Tigers and Alabama from halftime. And we invite you to stay with us during the Ford F-150 halftime report. A look at first half highlights and statistics, and a wonderful feature on the Bluegrass Miracle. I think you're going to love it. So stay tuned at halftime from Tuscaloosa with a lot more coming your way. There's Devery Henderson on the receiving end of that touchdown pass on the final play of the game against Kentucky.
You know, and he's just a couple of touchdown grabs away from being the tied for the all-time season touchdown receiving record in LSU history. So he's done a lot. 9. The record is 11 by Wendell Davis.
38 catches before today's game, averaging 16.5, and 9 of those catches have gone for touchdowns. He's grabbed 3 tonight for 28. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa, everyone. Along with Jordy Holtberg and Renee Nadeau, I'm Lynn Rollins, and we are delighted to be in your living rooms on Cox Sports Television. Mock slings it out. Clayton's got it, tries to shed a tackler, and is leaning and is dragged down at the 27-yard line. Charlie Pepra, the left cornerback, who was a freshman All-America a year ago with 4 interceptions, was latched on to Michael Clayton.
They went to that cover 3 that time, and the free safety was deep middle. And if Michael Clayton breaks that tackle, there's no one between he and the end zone. So that's a lot of pressure on those cornerbacks to make the play.
That's another first down for the Tigers, their 7th of the game. David Jones is in at fullback. There's Michael Clayton. Justin Vincent is in the backfield behind David Jones. Vincent up the middle, taking on tacklers and powering his way to the 37-yard line. Or excuse me, that's Ali Broussard. Ali Broussard with his first carry.
Ali Broussard on the handoff. Good blocking up front. That's Ben Wilkerson with a block, and Ali Broussard is just dragging would-be tacklers. Call it 2nd and 2.
Well, you've got a lot of powder to fire, don't you? And Carey and Adai and Vincent and Broussard and Edwards.
You know, Ben Wilkerson, they've said so much about him. We'll talk about him after this play.
Ali Broussard remains in the game on 2nd and short. The big bruiser bounces off a tackler and powers his way forward for a first down. At 6 foot and 225 pounds, the freshman from Lafayette, maybe the most punishing runner in the LSU backfield.
Well, he's got good body lean. He's running downhill, and he just really takes it to the would-be tackler and explodes into him. 277 yards on the season, and he had a breakout game. If you want to see what really was his coming out party, was that run against South Carolina when he buried the defensive back on a 30-yard run. He's been a much different runner ever since.
Those numbers include today's action. He has had 2 100-yard games under his belt in a relief role. Mock rolling right, looking, firing. Clayton wide open. He's hit from behind. It's another first down for LSU at the Alabama 40-yard line. Anthony Madison came from the middle of the field to make the tackle.
And that's the 6th grab for Michael Clayton, and he's just find a cavity in that zone. Good play action. A little bit of a boot look right here, and finding Clayton coming across the middle, right in front of Charlie Jones, and couldn't do much about it. Nice grab. First down, Tigers.
That one goes for 21 yards.
And the Tigers have been silent in the last couple of possessions since that score, and they kind of getting back in sync again.
LSU leads in first downs 9-1. And we've got a mix-up at the line of scrimmage. Penalty markers hit the deck.
Before the snap, movement by the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So the Tigers face 1st and 15.
Nick hasn't been too volatile thus far with a 10-point advantage. It can't be totally happy right now, but Tigers are moving the ball. We'll see what happens this possession.
8 minutes and 37 seconds remain in the first half. Ali Broussard is standing to Mock's left. He takes the inside handoff out of shotgun formation and gets about half of the penalty yardage back. It will bring up 2nd down and long for LSU.
That was the right play call for that defense. They were in a 3-man rush, and just an outstanding play by the front, Jeremy Clark and the rest of the Juwan Garth. There's my buddy Snake. Oh, I tell you. Oh man, I tell you, he's one of a kind. You know, John Madden told me one time, if he could pick any quarterback to have the ball with 2 minutes left in the game, that would be your quarterback right there. Snake's table, and no one could perform the task that the Snake could do.
Malk throws it short. Clayton waiting for blockers to develop. And Alabama sifts through that would-be wall and hits Clayton very hard. Big number 99, Jeremy Clark, the 6'3", 280-pound freshman, laid the lumber to Michael Clayton.
And Clark was the top defensive line prospect from Daphne, Alabama. Came over here, true freshman, doing a good job as Rodney Reese trying to block for him. That is pursuit for a big 6'3", 280-pounder. Was a teammate of Atlas Heron and Kenny King, who's moved on to the pros. Tigers in a tough situation. Alabama's really stepped up.
3rd and 10. Malk feeling pressure, steps up. Now to the end zone. It's underthrown badly and intercepted. Petra runs it back all the way out across the 35-yard line. That is his 4th interception of the season. It matches his total of last year. That ball was woefully underthrown by Malk after he was able to roll right and step into the throw.
And he wishes he could have it back. His 8th pick he throws, and he just didn't put enough air underneath it. Devery Henderson had beaten him deep, but Pepper steps up, makes the pick, and Skylar Green is in pursuit, following the tackle made by Michael Clayton. And Matt, as soon as he let it go, he knew. Wow, frustration.
First and 10 for Alabama. The Tigers scored on their first 2 possessions, but have not much to show after that. Coyle is pressured. And he will throw it into the LSU bench. That will be a legal throwaway. Look at Alabama's possession chart. 3 plays 7 yards, 3 plays -4, 3 plays for 3, 3 plays -2, 3 plays 9, 4 plays for 20. Punt, 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 punt.
And I guess that's pretty strong evidence why the Tiger defense is so highly thought of. They're the number 2 rushing defense in the entire country, and scoring defense, they're the top in scoring defense.
Sharp Williams is the only running back behind Coyle. 2nd and 10. Coyle over the middle, and that bounces off the breastplate of the would-be receiver. That one hit the receiver right between the numbers. That is Lance Taylor.
Travis Daniels may have gotten his free hand in. Well, I'll tell you what. No, he didn't. He just bounced off his chest, as you mentioned just now, and Tigers got the Bama pinned back. 3rd and 10, and an excellent opportunity. You look at Travis Daniels. He's really played well, coming from safety to cornerback, more his position.
3rd and 10. Alabama has been limited to 1 first down. The pressure. Down goes the sophomore quarterback. They came from everywhere. The charge led by Melvin Oliver.
And that's his 2nd sack of the season, Melvin Oliver. And we mentioned that the Tigers are number 1 in the SEC in that category. And they now have 29 sacks on the season, and Brody Coyle, he barely had time to step back. Melvin Oliver from Opelika, Alabama. Kind of a welcoming home party for the sophomore defensive lineman.
Skylar Green has had 2 nice punt returns to set up great field position. Let's see if he gets a chance. Unlikely. This one high and short, and bounces out of bounds around the 45-yard line. And the smattering of boos you hear is from the LSU side. They want Skylar Green to be able to return punts. Here we go, 10-0 with 6:03 to go, 2nd quarter. LSU out in front. Welcome back, everyone. 10-0. The LSU Tigers lead the Alabama Crimson Tide with 6:03 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Then I would be surprised, some misdirection. That's something that Jimbo Fisher talked about pregame, and you might see the wide receivers get in a little shuffle pass or something like that. Wouldn't surprise me.
Justin Vincent is in the backfield behind David Jones. Malk looking for Vincent, slings it out, tries to make a move, slips by one tackler, slips by another, and he's pushed out of bounds in Alabama territory at the 49-yard line. Well, some of you are making plans, I'm sure, for a possible SEC championship game and bowl opportunities for LSU. Postseason ticket requests have been mailed to season ticket holders. The deadline to return those is Monday, November 24th. Now, if you are a season ticket holder and haven't received that request, contact the LSU ticket office. Second down and 5. Clayton on the receiving end of yet another one. Progress will be allowed to the 46, and that's going to be a yard short of a first down as Charlie Pepra made the stop. LSU off to a quick start, but not a lot since then. 10 plays, 46 yards, the field goal. 1 play, 23 yards, touchdown to Clayton. And then punt, interception.
4 yards on the play.
You know, the Tigers going to come back down number 14 and come up short. And I suspect you go to power game here. 2 tight ends. Justin Vincent.
David Jones is in front of him in the eye. That should be just enough for the first down.
Stephen Peterman gives his approval.
Justin Vincent tackled by Derek Holt.
Derek Pope, the strong side linebacker,
A 1 yard
stopped
gain.
the freshman from Barb.
LSU at the Alabama 45.
Vincent will stay in the game.
Had a chance this week, Lynn, to talk a little bit about the offensive lineman, and Peterman was telling me how much the conditioning, we'll talk about how much the conditioning and Stacy Searles' technique has helped this offensive line this year.
First and 10 for the Tigers. They have garnered 10 of them against only 1 for Alabama. Malk throws deep. Oh, look at that. Had to be a hold. Yes, sir. 2 number 9s were latched onto each other. Debry Henderson and Anthony Madison were locked up in a lover's embrace. I mean, look, those two just would not let each other go.
Well, Madison knew he was beaten, couldn't do much about it, and so it's going to be defensive holding.
Oh, now another flag is dropped. I think somebody has carped there at the end. There's no question it's going to be a defensive hold against Anthony Madison, and then just a few seconds ago, there was another penalty marker dropped.
Wow, that was a good tackle before the play arrived. A pair of 9s. Bad luck for the red 9, Madison.
So it is a first down, and apparently only 1 infraction was called. I believe somebody picked up the flag, and the official threw it back down. So the Tigers get a first down on the defensive hold and operate from the 35-yard line. Mr. Broussard running hard across the 30 to the 29 on the misdirection from shotgun formation.
He runs over to D'Amico Ryans for his weak linebacker position. That guy number 35. He had 25 stops against Arkansas, his high water mark for the year. So, you know, that's not a shoddy tackle.
Well, remember, Alabama has played 2 overtime games this year. All told, they played 7 overtime periods.
Was it Arkansas and Tennessee? But LSU has a good drive going right here. Very methodical, moving it slowly down the field. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4.
Skylar Green and Michael Clayton are split to the left side. The pass goes out to Green behind Clayton, and Green is tumbled over, but he's got a first down. He was knocked to come a cropper by Charlie Pepra.
Credit Michael Clayton with a nice occupy block on the corner, and nice toss. Dangerous toss by Matt Marquez right over the outstretched hands of Antoine Odom. And that tackle not been made. Skylar Green was in the end zone. Nice execution by Matt Mark and Skylar Green.
LSU throws to the wings as well as anybody in the country. We've got a sideline warning against Alabama. So the next one would be a penalty.
Then you notice how close to the line of scrimmage the Tigers are calling the play and quickly up to the line. They shorten that run from the huddle quickly to the line.
Allie Broussard taking on Crimson Tide tacklers. Works his way to about the 17.
Anthony Madison makes the tackle.
I was talking a little bit about the offensive line before. Any offensive lineman would know this. A Z in the knee, and that starts with your thighs, knees, down to your calf and foot. A Z in the knee means that the offensive linemen have to keep their pad level low, keep their bend in the knees. The more tired and fatigued they get, you have a tendency to stand up. So conditioning is vital, and Stacy Searles really stresses Z in the knee. Stay down, low pad level, great concentration.
Mock finds his man in traffic. It'll be 1st and goal as Michael Clayton is on the receiving end of yet another one. There was very little room for error there, and Matt Mock just threw a little dart into Michael Clayton's hands.
Threw it in a window, and it was not very much opportunity. He threw it between a pair of defensive backs. A quick hitter, as you mentioned, to Michael Clayton, and he continues to really excel here. Coming into the game, 3rd leading receiver in the SEC as Kevin Snells comes in to block at fullback.
1st and goal for the Tigers at the 6-yard line. Vincent powers his way to the 3.
Justin, the ball carrier, tackle.
Vincent and Broussard, the first true freshman tandem to rush for 100 yards in the same season since the Hilliard-James game.
Back in 1982, and wow, what a tandem that was. Bo Hurley comes into the game, a little extra blocking strength. He played a little fullback in the spring, but he's back at his more comfortable line position, but he's in the backfield again as a fullback.
Vincent is the tailback. Mock will throw for it. Oh, what a catch. Touchdown, LSU. It's Eric Edwards. Eric Edwards with a stretching catch. He was well guarded, but he had Velcro on those fingertips.
His 2nd touchdown grab of 2003. And that's Matt Mock's 21st touchdown toss. They collaborate for a nice throw and catch, and Tigers increase their lead to 16-0.
That play was pretty darn well defended, but a terrific catch by Eric Edwards.
Senior out of Washington Christian has really become a West Coast type receiving tight end, and his phone may ring on draft day in the spring.
14 catches, 141 yards. Chris Jackson knocks it through, and the LSU Tigers, after getting 10 early points and then sputtering a bit offensively, come back with this touchdown reception. What a grab by Edwards. 17-0 LSU. LSU out in front 17-0 with just over 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The latest touchdown drive covered one play, 23 yards. No, that's a wrong graphic there. It was Edwards on the reception of the touchdown. 9 plays, 55 yards, and that was a 4-minute touchdown drive. Edwards grabbing the touchdown reception, the 2nd touchdown throw of the day for Matt Mock. He hooked up with Clayton for an earlier one.
You know, the Tigers continue with their SEC leading time of possession, and Matt Mock, great touch and very athletic catch by senior Eric Edwards.
Prothro and Brooks are back to receive this kickoff, and it is short and bounces around, and it's Prothro trying to stay on his feet, shaking a couple of would-be tacklers, and finally is ripped down at about the 28-yard line by Barrington Edwards. This copyrighted telecast of LSU football may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Cox Sports Television. And we are delighted to be in your living rooms or sports bars or wherever you may be watching and enjoying LSU football. 17-0. The Tigers lead as we approach the halfway mark. Coyle has had trouble tonight, and he overthrows a man open in the flat. That was Shad Williams, who has 18 receptions this year. And Brody Coyle now has fallen to 5 of 14 on the night.
And you got to think that was a defensive mix-up. No running back should be that wide open. LSU was in a combo coverage, press on the left side, zone on the right, and I think either the strong safety or linebacker should have counted for Shad Williams coming out of that backfield. It was definitely a mix-up that Nick Saban will address.
Croyle has connected only 5 times for 21 yards, so everything has been short, Renee. Alabama has not been able to penetrate LSU's defense. Williams tries to worm his way forward, and there's just nothing there. To the 30 for a couple, and that's about it. Cameron Vaughn led the charge.
So much was made this week about the off week that LSU had, and Nick Saban changed things up a little bit, gave the Tigers the whole weekend off last week, and instead of preparing for the next opponent, they worked more in technique and getting better as a team. Instead of last off week, they worked more on Florida the entire off week, and a little different approach, and it looks like you'd be paying off thus far.
Third down and long. Brody Croyle is pressured. Steps up, throws it short. He's got a receiver for a first down. Luke is pushed out of bounds at his own 43-yard line. Triandos Luke, the favorite target of the sophomore Brody Croyle.
And dropping back, a good rush right here, but he finds his mark and dropping back in coverage. Kirsten Pittman was not far. Shows his athleticism from his defensive end position, but a nice pickup for the tie for a first down.
The Tigers are only 4 up and 3 down under Nick Saban following open dates, but in good shape here tonight. This one's on the money, and the reception made by Zach Fletcher. That's his 17th catch. Corey Webster was in coverage, but Alabama in the 2-minute offense has had the most success it's had so far tonight.
You got to watch Zach Fletcher. He had an 86-yard touchdown hookup with Brody Croyle. He's a big play waiting to happen. He catches underneath in front of Corey Webster, and not much he can do for another first down pickup. A little soft coverage by Webster that time in zone.
First and 10 from the LSU 40. This is the deepest Alabama has moved into LSU territory. Pressure again, and that one is thrown away as Brody Croyle just had to heave it.
There was a meeting at the quarterback between Lionel Turner and Chad Lavallee, and he just threw it hoping someone would be near. You can see number 93 and 58 meet at the quarterback. Wow, he took a shot. And that's a painful left shoulder he's experiencing. Every time that shot, he'll feel it.
44 seconds remain. Alabama has 3 timeouts with which to work. Croyle is flushed out of the pocket again. And he throws it into no man's land. This Alabama team had allowed only 18 sacks coming into the ball game. The Tigers have won tonight, but they have continually pressured Brody Croyle. He may not have been knocked down with the ball, but Renee, he's been knocked down a lot, and he's had to really rely on his escapability just to find any sort of passing lanes.
Exactly, and you know, Marcus Spears said earlier this year that they don't have to always sack him. As long as they can get to him, pressure him, and knock him down, that certainly affects his throws and the way he approaches the game.
3rd and 10. Croyle with a quick release. That one's off the fingertips of Luke and nearly intercepted by Jack Hunt farther downfield. Once again, Brody Croyle gets up off the grass.
And he's taking a hit every time. That's another knockdown by Lionel Turner. Got there just a hair late for a sack, but he did take a shot, and Jack Hunt almost came up with yet another interception on the season.
Let me give a little credit to Lionel Turner for a smart play, though. He got that one step, which is legal, but instead of wrapping up the quarterback and driving him into the ground, which probably would have resulted in a penalty, he just bumped him hard, and that prevented the pass from being completed. But that was a very intelligent play in order to not get charged for the late hit.
Good point, Lynn. And sometimes it's smarter to be less aggressive than, and no knock against him, but you know, you got some of these guys, these linebackers in the NFL, and you know, they just get overly exuberant and just want to really show it and make a statement. It doesn't work all the time.
Well, don't forget, for you season ticket holders who by now should have your post-season ticket requests in your hands, the deadline to return that form is Monday, November 24th. If you are a season ticket holder and have not received postseason ticket requests, then contact the LSU ticket office and they'll get something out to you very quickly. But those have been mailed and they ought to be in your mailboxes by now. Of course, postseason ticket requests, the season ticket holders only at this time. Well, the home team has been outscored 62-0 on the home fields in this series over the last 7 quarters. That is a weird stat, isn't it?
Yeah.
No home field advantage.
How many people remember a couple years ago when Rohan Davey had an outstanding game, over 600 yards total offense? And
here comes the pressure, 4th down. Ball is tipped and it is intercepted by LSU. Picked off by Lavallee. Chad Lavallee gets the rejection, and big Chad Lavallee will love that.
With his Marksville stomp. Once a tight end, running back extraordinaire out of Marksville, and Jack Hunt, Chad Lavallee himself hit it and comes down with a ricochet and shows his running skills. Chad, you're going the wrong way, buddy. Come on back. Little power fullback run, perhaps. Boy, put him in open field, and it could be dangerous.
That's the 9th interception suffered by Croyle, and what an athletic play by Lavallee, who rejected it and then picked off the loose ball. Vincent up into the pile to close out things in the second quarter. Works his way for 5 or 6. And LSU does not have to take another snap.
That was a big stop by the Tiger defense as Alabama had a man open and had Chad Lavallee swatted that ball away. You might have been looking at a first down, Alabama.
Well, the Tigers indeed may try to go for the home run ball. They've called a timeout. So it was LSU taking the timeout with 14 seconds remaining. LSU out in front 17-0. Scores on their first 2 possessions. And then 3 or 4 opportunities in which the Tigers did not approach the goal line. But a nice touchdown reception on LSU's last possession by Eric Edwards from point-blank range. And the Tigers have blanked Alabama through 2 quarters, 17-0.
Somewhat subdued Nick Saban thus far.
Timeouts left. Alabama with a pair. The Tigers can stop the clock one more time. This Alabama team 4 up and 6 down, included in those half a dozen defeats. 2 overtime losses in the SEC.
LSU 8-0, leading at half this season.
And looking to win their 9th game of the year against 1 setback.
Matt Mark 13-2 as a starter and looking pretty good thus far with a 17-point cushion.
Well, let's see what LSU does here after stopping the clock. They're going to go back to the ground. Vincent gets the first down, runs up to about the 42. 8 seconds remain. The clock is stopped momentarily. Now it will roll. And the Tigers evidently called a timeout to run that play at the end of the first half. It has been a good one. The LSU Tigers lead it 17-0 after 2 periods. We'll be back with the Ford F-150 halftime report following this timeout. Don't you dare go away. Welcome back, everyone. We are just about set for the 3rd quarter. LSU out in front 17-0, and the Tigers will get the football first as Alabama kicks off for the first time tonight.
Tigers expecting good field position.
Skylar Green and Debris Henderson are back to receive it. Kyle Robinson will boot it for Alabama. Here we go, 3rd quarter of action, and the Tigers so far have pitched a shutout. They've been effective offensively. This one stays in bounds, and now Skylar Green's got to get back on it in a hurry, looking to make something out of not much, weaving and hurtling out to about the 21-yard line. Boy, he's exciting even on a muffed play, isn't he?
Talk about making chicken salad out of chicken feathers, huh?
Matt Malk threw 23 times in the first half. He completed 16 of those for 150 yards, a couple of touchdown passes, and an underthrown ball on a scramble for the only interception. That was in the Alabama end zone.
He needs one more touchdown toss to tie him with Tommy Hudson, all-time 22 touchdown tosses in one season.
Boy, you just don't think about some of those records that Matt Malk has very quietly approached. And he's on the money for the 10th catch of the night for Michael Clayton. Ball is stripped loose, and it is recovered by Alabama. Well, Michael Clayton could not take care of the football after making his 10th catch. And Alabama gets the break it needed to try to energize the offense.
Alabama came into this game +2 in turnover, and they already have a pair of turnovers in this game, an interception and that last fumble. And Michael Clayton did not protect the ball, held it out, and wow, right before it rolled out of bounds, it kind of put a little English on it, came back in, and Pepper with the recovery.
So Charlie Pepper with the recovery. That is the 10th fumble that Alabama has recovered this year. And now Brody Croyle has the best field position to start a drive. But the Tigers are on Shad Williams. Look at that. 2, 3, 4 Tigers led by Kyle Williams. Shad Williams, the SEC's leading ball carrier. In the first half, 5 rushes, 17 yards.
Again, they approached this very much like Cadillac Williams. You have to play gap control with him, Lynn, because he cuts it back. Great vision, great instincts, and he'll cut it back on you. Kind of tough day for Brody Croyle as well.
Only 51 yards on 7 completions. He's missed 13 times. And that interception you saw on our graphic was made by Chad Lavallee. Croyle will throw for the 21st time. He'll have to scramble. And Chad Lavallee is on him.
Kind of flushed it for the pocket, and Chad Lavallee is there. As you see, Cameron Vaughn kind of spying on him, and Chad Lavallee separates, and Vaughn in on the assist.
Well, you got a pretty good look at number 93 in the middle of your picture. He was blocked initially and then spun to one side, picked up blocking pressure again, spun to the other side, located the quarterback, and got on him after a short scramble.
Well, he was the SEC's best against Auburn.
3rd down. Croyle slings it low, and that's incomplete. Brody Croyle has kind of a wind-up motion, doesn't he? Sometimes he looks like a shortstop from deep in the hole. Travis Daniels was in coverage there for the Tigers, but that ball was down on the grass. What's this little slingshot motion?
Much like a pit. You're right, like a second baseman. You're right. And incomplete is Travis Daniels in defense.
Brian Bostic will attempt this field goal. He's 15 of 22 this year. That's 68%. 48 has been his long. This one from 46. And it is no good. He hooked it. So Brian Bostic fails to get points for Alabama. The turnover does not hurt LSU. The Tigers get it for the second time in the second half, leading 17-0. LSU 17-0 as it gets its second possession of the 3rd quarter. It's the newest fishing show in Louisiana. It's time to go fish. Join Kevin Ford as he takes you throughout the Gulf South and Louisiana to the best fishing spots possible. Go fish! Exclusively on Cox Sports Television. The first cast is Thursday at 6:30 p.m. (17-0). The Tigers out in front early in the 3rd period. Matt Malk is enjoying another very fine night.
Second possession here. Matt Malk trying to get back in sync.
Justin Vincent with running room. Stiff arms one defender and runs all the way out to the 42-yard line. That's the longest run for Vincent tonight. And the Tigers have just garnered their 15th first down as Charlie Pepper, the left cornerback, came up to stop.
Good running with vision here as he finds the hole, cuts it back. You see right here, bounce it to the outside, breaks the tackle. Good blocking again by Michael Clayton as the wide receivers continue to help with the running game.
The LSU out in front in the first down category, 15-3. 1st and 10. Malk. Quick fire out to Skylar Green. Skylar is tumbled over short of midfield. Well, in the Eastern Division of the SEC today, Florida got by South Carolina. It was a struggle for the Gators, but they came from behind and won. Georgia took out Auburn. Tennessee had an easy time of it against Mississippi State. So Florida now had finished its SEC schedule at 6-2. Georgia 5-2, and Tennessee is 4-2. Those Gamecocks are still not bowl eligible at 5-6 now.
Good offensive line play, no injuries, which is vital. Offensive line has stayed intact this entire game.
Vincent darts outside, first down and some more as he weaves his way to the 45 in Alabama territory.
Tackled by Roman Harper.
This has been somewhat of a subdued crowd, hasn't it? As you see Vincent taking it around the left side.
Nitzrang with a good block along with Eric Edwards on the corner to allow him to bounce it outside of the perimeter. No one at home, and Justin Vincent takes it for a first down. And huge chunks of yardage as the offensive line opens some holes, and Justin Vincent and Ali Broussard running with a lot of success.
First and 10, LSU at the 45-yard line. Mock play action, slings it deep for Clayton. Michael with an acrobatic attempt, fails to come down in bounds with the ball. Charlie Pepper was in coverage.
Michael Clayton running out and up, and Pepper stayed right with him in his hip pocket. You can see Matt Mock waiting for him to take his break. Good protection up front. After the break, he scoots it up the sidelines, and Pepper right there. Good position by the sophomore, Charlie Pepper. Wouldn't have been good if he caught it. Pepper really played well with that sideline, and what a great future Pepper has, only a sophomore, as we mentioned.
Ali Broussard enters the game for LSU. Tigers got a couple of new receivers in as well. Mock on the option. Has an open field, steps to the outside, and wisely takes a course out of bounds as he moves inside the 30 to the 29. That's the first time we've seen the little counter by the quarterback out of shotgun formation tonight, and that was a very effective play.
Little counter keeper, and he goes right against the grain. Great decision here, and an outstanding call. Matt Mock scooting up the field and heads for the sidelines after the damage had been called. And good call right there, and outstanding running by Matt Mock.
17-0 LSU, and a chance to stretch it here as the Tigers get near the red zone. Mock out to Skylar Green. And he goes flying head over heels at the 25 for a short pickup. Pope and Robinson combined on that hit.
And Ramsey Robinson may have got him airborne. They've seen number 17 knifing in, hitting him right here, and Pope finishing the job. But Ramsey Robinson knifed in from his cornerback position and did a good job coming in, stopping Skylar Green for no gain.
There was a penalty marker thrown at the line of scrimmage. And apparently the option rests.
Chop block on the offense.
With Alabama.
15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Chop block. I think that's the first one I've seen called this year.
Yeah, and that's really pushes the Tigers a little further back. They were having some success moving down the field, and now they're beyond the 43, 44-yard line, and a little ingenuity may come into this play call right here.
Basically, that's a block below the waist on that little pass out into the flat. And they're trying to protect pursuing players from getting blindsided and having those knees taken out. Tigers go back to the ground, and Justin Vincent is corralled at the line of scrimmage.
Freddie Roach on the assist, along with Anthony Bryant, and really stopped Justin Vincent before he got started right there. Good look at Freddie Roach, sophomore. He's really going to be outstanding. A second linebacker in the state of Alabama, and he's going to be a great one before it's all over with. In fact, he was right behind Ryans, who was the #1 linebacker in the state. Bama's got them both.
Second down. Mock throws to Skylar Green on the inside screen, looking to pick up some blocking. Vincent throws a great one. Green on the run at the 25. Green may have a first down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. That is exactly the way it's drawn up for that little water bug, Skylar Green.
Little slip screen, and outstanding blocking up front. Ali Broussard with one. Whitworth one right there. Wow, he took out a pair of Crimson Tide players. And Skylar Green with a little head fake. Just outstanding blocking, 4 of them. Leishwanger took somebody out there. Justin Vincent, Ali Broussard with a pair right there. And he just ran for Green. First down, Tigers.
At the 18-yard line, LSU is in the red zone. Ali Broussard burrowing forward, taking on Crimson Tide tacklers, and he runs inside the 5. First and goal, LSU.
And he carried Charlie Jones, the top tackler on that team, and the hardest hitter, the senior, and Ali Broussard. He jumped on his back and rode him. Right there, look, this is the best tackler on Alabama's team, and he's taking him for a 5-yard ride. Running downhill with a good head of steam, and wow, he's really running great.
13 yards on that bull rush by Ali Broussard. First and goal for the Tigers. Stelz is in the game, number 44 as the fullback. And it is Broussard again, powering his way forward. Touchdown LSU! Touchdown, Ali Broussard!
Touchdown, LSU.
When he gets those pistons pumping and those shoulders squared and that rolling motion, he is one tough guy to bring down.
He's running downhill like releasing the brake on a minivan. Rudy Nicewanger with Knife maintained his block, and Ali Broussard just burrowed behind him and just got into the end zone.
Chris Jackson to attempt the
So Chris Jackson, who has handled all of the place-kicking chores for LSU tonight, whacks the extra point, and it is good. 24-0 on Ali Broussard's touchdown run. The big fellow hit there, burrowing, and into the end zone. LSU's latest score has moved the lead to 24-0, 9:15 to go in the third quarter. Welcome back on Cox Sports Television. It took 9 plays, and the Tigers ground out 72 yards. 3 minutes and 52 seconds were used on the clock, and Ali Broussard's powerful 4-yard touchdown run climaxed that 72-yard drive.
That was his 4th score of the season, and he's really feeling it right now. And offensive line really giving him a cavity to run in. Rudy Nicewanger, great block down by the goal, just relentless drive block.
Last year, Alabama shut out LSU in Death Valley 31-0. And the Tigers have completely turned those tables tonight, leading 24-0 early in the third period.
How many people recall that Shad Williams, 131 yards, 8 yards per carry against the Tigers last year? A lot different evening tonight.
Well, he's 104 yards less on the ground tonight.
You know, he came into this game, Lynn, needing 332 yards on the season to surpass Bobby Humphrey as the all-time leading rusher, single-season rusher in Bama history.
Prothro has a chance to return this one. Snakes forward to the 30. And is tackled at the 45 by the kicker. Jackson, who booted it, made the stop near the 45-yard line.
Chris Jackson, not a big guy, but pretty good athlete. Played the quarterback at John Curtis, and he can take a hit, so he can lay one out and stop a sure touchdown run back. Nice return right here, running up the lane. Good blocking by Alabama. As Prude is in hot in pursuit, Chris Jackson holds him up, and Prude helps out with the tackle.
So now Brody Croyle, who has not been effective tonight against this airtight LSU defense, hands it off to Shad Williams. He reverses. Shad Williams works his way to the LSU 41, and that's good enough for a first down before LaRon Landry tackled him. And also Cameron Vaughn.
Shows what kind of vision he has, Lenny. That was designed to go up the right side. A zone running play. He bounced it out. Good vision and work ethic. He's a tireless runner. And Shad Williams, not a big guy, 5'9", 189, with pretty good speed and good burst. And he will really attack. He takes it to the defensive player.
That's only the 4th first down for Alabama. Brody Croyle has Shad Williams out in the flat, and he is flattened by Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams at one time considered pro golf as a career.
I'll tell you something else. As a sophomore in high school, he went from 220 to 260. He had aspirations of being a fullback, maybe like a Mike Allstat. His problem was, his dad said, once he got in the open field, he was looking for somebody to run over. He'd wait for the defensive back to come back so he could just run him over. And consequently, his future was at defensive tackle.
And then there's only room for one John Daly on the Pro Tour.
When you move from 220 to 260 in one season.
John Williams, or excuse me, that may have been Darby, but it was Marquise Hill who wrapped up Mr. Ken Darby. Marquise Hill has been a bit more active tonight. He has not been in on a great number of tackles, but you see him all around the ball.
And he fights off Marquise Hill, keeps his open hand, right hand free, makes the stop, plays off the offensive lineman with his left hand, keeps his out hand free. And that he does a great job of making the stop and fighting off a pretty fair blocker. And
Croyle's 8 completions have gone only for 53 yards. Late pressure, and that's batted down again at the line of scrimmage. The Tigers have to be one of the best in the country in rerouting balls off a quarterback's hands at the line of scrimmage.
Chad Lavalley had one batted up in the air that he intercepted. Brody Croyle, he do a little stunt coming from the inside, and Chad Lavalley gets his second swat as Marquise Hill, or Marcus Spears, comes on the inside of that stunt. Stunt designed to confuse the offensive line blocking, and did a pretty good job that time.
Apparently Bama will kick it, and it is mishit very poorly as it sails to the right side. Bo Freeland is feeling the heat from this capacity crowd. About 83,000 folks are here, and the Tigers have never allowed this very much pro-Alabama crowd to get into it. It is 24-0 with 7:07 remaining in the third quarter. LSU out in front of the Crimson Tide.
Field goal, and that was the turning point in the ballgame. 17 points, still close enough for Bama to regain some momentum. Once again, after the good kickoff return, 3 and out. LSU, one of the best in the country in defending third down conversion plays. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Jordy. Mauck rolling. Mauck finding Michael Clayton yet another time. That's his 11th reception of the game.
And guess who the all-time leading receiver in SEC history in that department? Josh Reed did it against the Alabama Crimson Tide. 19 grabs for 293 yards. Well, how many people remember that game? Notice Michael Clayton kind of made that catch a little closer to his body, I guess protecting the ball or anticipating contact from the defensive back.
Tigers go back to the ground on first down, and Justin Vincent had someone around his ankles. That was Carlos Andrews, who is a second-string strong safety, a junior. And Justin Vincent has eclipsed the 60-yard mark. He is the leading ball carrier in the game today. 14 carries, 64 yards for the freshman from Barb, and Matt Mauck's numbers. 20 out of 28, 205 yards, a couple of scores, 1 interception.
Terrell McGillen at left guard, replacing Udi Neiswanger.
2nd and 5 from midfield. Vincent trying to pull away, takes a pop from the backside, and nearly had that ball taken away. That was a blindside hit. Leslie Williams lowered the boom, as did Pope.
You know, and he's in the mold of a big playmaker like a Cornelius Bennett, Derek Thomas. Not as athletic, but he makes the kind of plays they used to make. Wow, what a delivery explosion into Justin Vincent from Derek Pope, a 6 foot, 223-pound senior.
That was the old high-low. Williams had him around the ankle, holding him up for Pope. 5:41 to go, third quarter. LSU fakes the speed handoff, and the throw to Vincent comes up short. Well, the Tigers did not fool Alabama on that one. They were not influenced by the fake flanker sweep.
You know, we talked that little bit ago how LSU may go to that misdirection and that flanker, that reverse, if you will. I'm sure Alabama was thinking that. They didn't fall for it. Matt Mauck's pass incomplete, and Tigers have to relinquish the ball.
Now Donnie Jones can try to whack one deep for really the first time tonight. This one will be fair caught. No, it's not. The fair catch was contemplated, but Brandon Brooks decided to bring it back and got maybe a yard or two. Hey, Tiger fans, don't you dare miss the excitement of Lady Tiger basketball. Bring the kids, have some fun with the purchase of the Lady Tiger Family 6-pack presented by Coca-Cola. For just $100, you get 4 tickets to 6 great Lady Tigers games and 4 free Cokes at each game. And there'll be a family-oriented prizes and entertainment at the games. For more information or to get tickets, log on to lsusports.net.
And Sue Gunner's really doing a great job with those Lady Tigers.
Boy, those seasons are right here. Shad Williams running right. Shad Williams gets nothing. LSU has put a cork in his bottle tonight. That's his 8th carry for less than 30 yards. Lavallee and Hunt combined on the stop. There is number 8, Jack Hunt.
And Kyle Williams scrapes off and runs along the line of scrimmage.
Here's a little bit of trivia for you with Mr. Hunt. He has played offensively and defensively as a starter in his LSU career.
In fact, as a freshman, he had a 12-yard grab on 3rd and 5 against Alabama. Big play for that young man, and he's a really good move for defense.
Shad Williams is corked once again. It is amazing how the Tigers have just taken away premier ball carriers time after time after time in this season. There's been only one 100-yard rusher against LSU this year, and that was that fine tailback from Louisiana Tech.
Ryan Moach, yeah, he did a good job, and he just did it a lot on his own, and kind of when the Tigers got a little lax in the second half, which we talked about. Nick Saban wasn't too happy with that effort in the second half, and that's when he got a lot of his yards. But Shad Williams and Cadillac Williams, they've kept them both locked up this year.
3rd and 10, Brody Croyle out of shotgun formation. Here comes the blitz. Peg to the outside, broken up, and a chance for an interception by Corey Webster. But he was unable to get his hands on the ball. Brody Croyle once again feeling the hot breath of defenders.
And here comes Kirsten Pittman coming in on a stunt from the outside. And Corey Webster almost came up with it, and Greer was not ready for that pass, Brandon Greer. Corey had to deliver the ball before he really wanted to.
Bo Freeland will punt yet another time. This one may be his best kick of the night. Skylar Green, a chance to return from the 37. Hand down twice, and he weaves forward, making the most he can out to the 39. Or rather, the 44, the final resting point. Skylar Green on the receiving end of that punt. 131 yards in rushing attempts, or for LSU today in rushing. Alabama, only 26. The ball club averaging 174 yards on the ground is Alabama, but the Tigers have done real good in that department. Well, next week, we come your way from Oxford, the Ole Miss pennant waving there.
Eli's coming home. Eli's coming.
Matt Malk outside, Henderson on the receiving end, and he's run out of bounds near the 30. Devery caught quite a few balls early, but that's the first reception he's had in a while.
Devery Henderson gets loose.
His 4th catch of the night. Charlie Jones ran him out of bounds
near the sideline, and he's got outstanding protection from the offensive line as he runs the sideline, deep sideline route, and great throw right on his mark, and Matt Malk continues to impress.
How do you get open that easily? Number 1, it comes up front. 26 yards on the pickup. Chiron Carey is in the game. Malk misfires, intended for Clayton. Well, if you're looking at how this quartet of running backs has done tonight, Vincent has been the primary ball carrier with 15 for 67. Broussard 7 for 41 and a touchdown. Chiron Carey has 1 attempt for 3 yards. And Joseph Adai has played but has not carried the ball.
And Matt Malk is very upset with himself at that last throw. Look for the Tigers to go back to the running game. They need to really set a statement.
Here's Chiron on the cutback, and he is cut down by the strong side linebacker Derek Pope. Pope is a senior and a very good player.
Yeah, he was a top junior college linebacker in the country last year coming to Alabama. Boy, he really hot tackle, hat on torso, and this is the way you draw it up if you want to be a linebacker. Doesn't go for any fakes, just aim for the belt buckle and comes up, butts you in the mouth.
Chiron Carey leaves the game. Joseph Adai enters. 3rd and 9 for the Tigers. Third down conversions have been hard to come by for both teams tonight, and that one is nearly intercepted. And it was that man, Pope, I believe, back in coverage. It was. Well, in third down conversions tonight, the Tigers only 1 of 8, and Alabama is only 1 of 12. So between the two teams, just 2 of 20 third down conversions.
And not successful in that last play. I'm a little surprised they went with the pass. Alabama coming with a 3-man rush, dropping 8. Matt Malk tried to force it, nearly had it intercepted.
Now a 46-yard field goal attempt by Chris Jackson. It is in the air, and it is no good. So Chris Jackson's 46-yard attempt is wide, and with 2:41 remaining in the third quarter, the score remains 24-0 LSU.
Chris Jackson has range. He's converted from 55 yards in high school. In practice, 65 yards. He's got the leg strength, just needs some confidence, and you may have seen right there that Blaine Besh was the holder. He'll be there, he'll be back. You see he's getting more confidence. Nick Saban giving him a chance tonight over Ryan Godet.
1st and 10 for Alabama. Operating from the 29-yard line, and Ken Darby, the freshman running back, is in the game. Shad Williams is on the bench. Croyle with a quick sling over the middle. It's caught, and that will be good enough for near first down yardage. Dre Fulgham, who is second on the ball club with 25 receptions, made the stop and made the catch, and Travis Daniel was there, but Travis Daniel's tackle did not come until Dre Fulgham picked up the first down. LSU leads in total yards, 363 to 79. It has been another cork in the bottle performance defensively for LSU. Darby. He's shifty. He's got another first down into LSU territory. LaRon Landry hit him.
He did what Shad Williams could not do, and Darby shows why he was the best running back in Alabama last year, coming to the Crimson Tide. 4.4 speed. He really exploded in the secondary and picked up a first down. I can see Alabama going to stay with that run. They're going to have to mix it up. Brody Croyle's had some success then with those slant patterns. Hasn't gone deep very often, but he can pick you apart with the underneath stuff.
Well, he's only averaging 7 yards per completion, so you're right. Everything has been in front of the linebackers. They'll try Mr. I think this is Shad Williams. No, it's Darby again. And the Tigers are on him. Melvin Oliver leading the charge, number 90.
That's his second, make that 17th stop of the season. Had a sack earlier in the game, and Tiger defense really has not substituted very much. Melvin Oliver has come in. Kirsten Pittman has spelled one of the defensive ends, but for the most part, the first team has stayed intact.
Alabama averages 27.5 points per game. Pressure. Croyle escapes for the moment, and he is run out of bounds by Marquise Hill.
He's not much of a scrambler. You know, Tyler Watts, when they lost him last year, they lost a very mobile quarterback. Gets away from Chad Lavallee here. Marquise Hill in hot pursuit and got away, but a nice play improvising by Brody Croyle. His pappy wasn't a bad defensive player for the Tide. John was defensive end. Woodrow Lowe, and pretty good players there. Johnny Musso was one of the players with his dad.
Brody Croyle was Dennis Franchione's first recruit at Alabama. 3rd and 4. Darby with nothing. Absolutely nothing, as that Tiger defensive line is intractable.
Can't help but notice how obvious number 30, LaRon Landry, has come in. Great penetration by the defensive line, just holding up the offense. No push at all as the running back is going in the opposite direction with Chad Lavallee anchored around his ankles.
What a great view he gave you there, right down the line of scrimmage. And the Crimson Tide needs points and will attempt this 4th down conversion. Alabama has had success this year, 11 of 18 on 4th downs. Williams is back in the game. looking to throw for it. He's flushed. He fires. He's got a man at the 25. To the 10. To the 6-yard line. It is Tyrone Prothro. LaRon Landry knocked him down, but Alabama has its first opportunity at the LSU goal line.
And Prothro with his 9th grab, and what a big-time play Croyle makes. Stays in the pocket, flushes out, and throws right before he's going to get hit by Jack Hunt. And the rest is Prothro. And just cutting across, bringing a tackle by Alexander, and LaRon Landry finally brings him to the turf into the third quarter.
LSU's shutout is in jeopardy as we get the fourth quarter started. The Tigers out in front 24-0 with points in each of the first 3 periods. But Alabama has its deepest penetration with first and goal just outside the 5-yard line. Rushing yardage in favor of LSU, 132-46 through 3 quarters. A better than 2-to-1 advantage in passing. Better than 2-to-1 in total offense. 21-7 in first downs. Penalties of no consequence tonight. Each team with a turnover, and LSU is winning the time of possession battle as well.
And this is the second red zone opportunity for the Crimson Tide. LSU 47% on defense. And that is, I'm sorry, it's that first red zone opportunity, and LSU's 47% successful in that department.
That is very, very good. Brody Croyle with an I formation behind him, 2 tight ends. And we've got a mix-up at the line of scrimmage before that play develops. That generally goes against the offensive team, but we'll wait for the officials to sort the laundry.
For the snap, movement by the offensive line. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And you can see there's a head moving.
Renee, that drives a coach crazy. You come out of a timeout, you've got first and goal at the 6. Your first legitimate scoring opportunity tonight, and you draw a 5-yard penalty. There's really no excuse for that.
And you look at the top scoring defense in the country, you can't afford to shoot yourself in the foot and push yourself back, and Bama now is moving in the wrong direction.
Certainly noise cannot be considered a factor tonight. Croyle pressured. Down he goes for the second time. They came from everywhere, did the LSU Tigers. Chad Lavallee was among those there. Randall Gay as well.
Blue Gay recording the 29th sack for the season for the Tigers. And that was an outstanding, and that was his second personal sack. The Tigers lead in that department.
Marquise Hill also in on that play. That's the second sack of the night. This Alabama Crimson Tide offensive line had only allowed 18 sacks coming into the game. Second and goal from near the 16-yard line. Croyle to the outside, and that one is off the mitts of Triandos Luke. He was running a crossing pattern from the bottom of your screen to the top and never really got turned around to face the quarterback when that ball was delivered.
Yeah, Trey Luke doesn't drop too many passes. He's got 27 grabs, which is the tops on the team. And Alabama picked up the stunt pretty well, but just could not come down with it. He should have made this catch, and usually does.
He was bumped in that pattern by Cameron Vaughn. That also threw the timing off a little bit.
Croyle had time, though.
Yes, he did. Third down and goal from the 16-yard line. That is stripped away, incomplete by Jack Hunt. He got a hand in and ripped it away from Prothro. You just can't play it any better than that.
That was a post pattern, and it was touchdown written all over it by the former Ruston star. Just takes it away at the very last minute. And boy, I tell you what, Prothro had his touchdown dance all picked out. And Brody Croyle, great delivery, great throw right there.
Just too good on the defensive effort that time by Hunt.
Desperate team going for it on fourth down. They need a score.
Alabama has no choice but to get into the end zone here. Early in the fourth period. Here comes the blitz. And that's batted down, incomplete. The Tigers take over on downs. It was Travis Daniels stepping in front of the receiver and slapping it to the ground. There is a penalty marker down, however, in the backfield.
Looks like it's going to be a hold going against Alabama. I'm sure LSU declines as Travis Daniels erases this corner pattern. Good pressure. pressure coming right there from Marcus Spears. Wow. Great job.
It was Atlas Harrion, the 6'4", 300-pounder, who was holding Marcus Spears. And you see the breakup in the end zone.
Fulgham, the intended receiver. And Jack Hunt comes on a blitz, is picked up immediately. Good delivery and just a great play. Defensive play by Travis Daniels right where he needed to be.
So Hunt and Daniels come up with deflections. And the Tigers take over on downs at the 17-yard line. Vincent running right, picking his way for yardage, and steps out over the 31, the 32, a late fumble, but that will be ruled down. And no loose ball. It's a first down for the Tigers as Charlie Peckbro, who's been active in the secondary, made another stop for Alabama. Nick Saban looking to win for the third time in 4 years against Alabama. And I don't think the Tigers in their history have won 3 out of 4 against the Crimson Tide.
No. If I asked you, what would be your best guess if Nick Saban was at a Halloween party, what kind of costume would he have?
Let me think about that.
Think about it. It may be strangely appropriate.
At a Halloween party? All right. Let me think about that. 1st and 10. Broussard running hard to the 45.
Offensive line just dominating, and Ali Broussard finishing his runs as he takes it to the defensive player again, running downhill and making a nice power run. Good blocking, zone blocking off the front line, and you see, look at Rodney Reed is way down the field trying to help out, and Ali Broussard finishing his run. Ben Wilkerson, outstanding job. We've talked about him before and started to say how George Yarno called him the best center he's ever coached, and one of his proteges, Robbie Toback, now is a starting center for the Seattle Seahawks. He feels Wilkerson is ahead of him.
It's Ali Broussard again. Look at the big fellow motor. To the 40, to the 35. He isn't stopped until he gets to the 32-yard line. Ali Broussard running hard and running quickly.
And look at congratulations, Stacey Seals. Look, it's a zone play. He cuts it back on his own. He's not just a north-south runner. Michael Clayton, look at that blocking downfield. And Ali Broussard finishes a run, and when he arrives on the sidelines, Stacey Seals, the offensive line coach, slaps him, gives him a high five, and great job, big guy. Look at that rushing yardage.
183-40 in favor of the Tigers. That was a 23-yard run by Broussard. Joseph Adai is in the game. Joseph has it. Joseph following blockers, weaving. Joseph Adai still on his feet to the 16-yard line. And this Tiger offensive line is shredding the Alabama Crimson Tide right now.
Yeah, they really coming off the ball very well. Whitworth, McGill, Wilkerson, Peterman, and Reed. And look at Joseph Adai, a fresh pair of legs, is really taking it to the Alabama Crimson Tide. And LSU is really wearing down this defense, Lynn. The hits are starting to take their toll on this Alabama defense.
Adai's first carry of the night results in 17. First down at the Alabama 16-yard line. That one is incomplete off the hands of Skylar Green. Thrown a little bit out of his reach. For a moment, I thought he might reel it in.
And look who was there. Derek Pope from his linebacker position matched up with the fastest Tiger. Wow, that's... You know, when you put your linebacker on your fastest player on the opposing team, that shows the respect you have for that young man.
I'm still thinking about the Halloween costume, by the way.
Well, we'll tell you, first opportunity here. It's going to be interesting.
11:53 remains in the fourth quarter. Flags go down, and so does a die. It appeared Alabama jumped. We'll check the penalty marker.
Encroachment.
All right. I'm just going to throw out something here. I'll call him a Tiger tamer. How's that?
Well, you know, I had a chance to talk with Randy Hilliard, a good friend who played under Nick Saban with the Cleveland Browns for 4 years, and show you a side of Nick Saban the fans don't see after this call.
The defense is inside the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
During his Cleveland Brown days, he wore a devil costume, horns and everything, and gave out candy to kids. And that shows you a side of Nick Saban that people just don't see. And the players said they enjoyed it, and it was just really a a player's coach and one of the guys, and they loved him up in Cleveland, and that's coming from a former player, Randy Hilliard.
Second down from the 11. Adai almost lost it as Mock's handoff to Adai never really got secured. And now Adai will go to the bench, and Chiron Carey will enter the fray for LSU. 11-11 remaining. 24-0. The Tigers with a touchdown here, Renee, could match the losing score of a year ago.
And that's staying with that run. Chiron Carey back in. Hasn't been in since early in the first quarter. Knocking some rust off. He'll get an opportunity or two here.
LSU needs to get to the 6 to keep this drive alive. Third down and 10. Skylar Green makes the catch in traffic, takes on a couple of hits, and stays afloat for a moment. But the end result is no gain. And now the three-point unit comes on. And Chris Jackson will attempt the field goal. This one will come from the middle of the field. And it will be a 34-yard attempt from straight away.
And he put the Tigers on the scoreboard with a field goal early in the first quarter.
In fact, those were the first points scored by LSU today. This kick is up and right down the alley. So Chris Jackson's second field goal of the game, his second field goal of the year, extends LSU's lead to 27-0. 10-11 to go, fourth quarter. It's 27-0. The Tigers have scored in every quarter tonight and are pitching the shutout against Alabama. We've still got 10 minutes and some change remaining. Jackson's 33-yard field goal ended a 67-yard drive. It was the 8th play of that march, and it took 3 minutes and 48 seconds off the clock here in Tuscaloosa.
And that field goal, Lynn had room to spare.
10, 7, 7, and 3 for LSU. That's consistency, Renee.
Started with a field goal, and that was the last score. And we'll see if the Tiger defense can stiffen up here with 10-11 remaining.
Throw, and Brooks are back to receive it. It is Brooks. And Brooks is knocked down about the 15-yard line. Listen up, college football fans. Cox Sports Television is giving you Thursday night college football. Tune in as Middle Tennessee State takes on Arkansas State in what will be a fine Sun Belt Conference showdown. Live Thursday, 6 o'clock, right here on Cox Sports Television.
Bama racing back on the field as Brody Quarles stays, as Castile is in the backfield now with Darby. I think remains with him.
Speaking of Sun Belt action, of course, the New Orleans Bowl featuring the Sun Belt winner will be played next month. Alabama has just not had anything work against the LSU defense. Lionel Turner and Bryce Wyatt combined on that stop, and they're scratching their heads over there, Renee. There's just been nothing that has worked against LSU, which has not been uncommon this year, by the way. Teams have just not been able to penetrate this very much deserving LSU defense.
Well, 27.6 points per outing. They've done a great job. Alabama's had some success in other games. LSU really, you talk about the stiffness. Whoa, good play there.
Well, the second hit separated the receiver from the football. Zach Fletcher was the intended receiver, and LaRon Landry made sure that he was not going to catch it.
Throwing in the face of Lionel Turner, and tough catch there, but LaRon Landry makes sure he don't catch it on the ricochet. And boy, what a great freshman. He's looking at all SEC, if not all-American freshman team with the way he's played, leading these Tigers in tackles coming into this game. His brother is over at Georgia Tech. I'm sure they talk quite often on how their teams are doing this year.
Yet another third down try. This one is on the money. Luke running into LSU territory at the 45-yard line. Randall Gay in coverage. But the third down opportunity finally is successful.
And he waits for him to make his break, and Luke deep across the field on a slant, and Randall Gay making the stop, but not before the damage is done. Luke with 6 grabs against Arkansas, went for a touchdown, so he can really break it open. He's got 85 career grabs coming into this contest.
That's only the second third down conversion for Alabama in 15 attempts tonight. The Tigers are just 1 of 9. Darby running left. Darby along the far sideline. He is taken out near the red zone. Well, actually, they say he stepped out of bounds at about the 31. LaRon Landry got a piece of him there.
And that pass to Luke made them more cognizant of the pass. Caught him in a blitz, and Darby made him pay for it. Good block there on Webster, and you see Brandon Washington in pursuit. LaRon Landry helped, but he was already out of bounds. But good throw by Luke, kind of opened up that running play and allowed the Tide to pick up first down on that play.
Alabama trying to get on the scoreboard the first time. Darby is cut down. Underneath that pile was Kyle Williams, and he had some help from some other teammates.
Darby took a hit there, and starter still on defense. For the most part, for the Tigers, has not made too many replacements defensively, keeping those starters in there. You know, I talked a little bit about Halloween with Nick Saban. It shows a side of him, and you know, the players, all his former players, always say the door is always open. Wants to talk personal, otherwise, and always like to keep track of his former players, and it means a whole lot to him.
There's a 5 wide out setup. This pass is intercepted, but the play is going to be blown dead before it starts. That's going to take an interception away from Corey Webster. It appeared a couple of those linemen came up early for Alabama.
And that would have been his 4th pick, but of course, action did stop. Yeah, they did move prematurely.
For the snap, movement by the offensive line. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And they coming up, you're going to see just kind of, and you know, we talked a little bit a while ago how that Z in the knee, you see the offensive lineman by Alabama starting to rise up a little bit.
That was Evan Mathis on the right side, an academic All-SEC performer. His uncle Bob Baumhauer, a former Alabama and Miami Dolphins standout.
Yeah, people remember him. What a great tandem that was with A.J. Dewey.
Look at this. Tigers just can't seem to tackle Tim Castile, the fullback. That's his 18th reception, so they like to throw to the fullbacks, although that's the first fullback reception tonight.
May remember his dad, Jeremiah Castile, played 6 years in the NFL, and right there, good move, good duck move by Castile after taking the play, and he's not down yet. Continues to break 3 or 4 tackles down inside the 10-yard line, and yet another red zone opportunity for Alabama.
That looked like a Sean Alexander run after the reception.
It sure did.
First and 10 from just outside the 10-yard stripe. Williams to the 7. Cameron Vaughn, the only true freshman to play in every game last year for LSU, was involved in the tackle.
Cameron Vaughn had a big 15-tackle stop against Arkansas. Sean Williams, you give it to your money player when you're down inside the red zone, and he's got 14 scores to his credit, looking for number 15, and even though they're trailing by 27 points, pride is a factor. They want to break that zero, that shutout right now.
There's Cameron Vaughn, 6'4", 220-pound sophomore from Tarrytown. Croyle to the outside, and down near the goal line, but not in, is McClain, I think. We'll see. That's an incompletion.
And he snuck out of the backfield. Later on his arrival is Lionel Turner, and McClain, true freshman, should have had it. Number 4 prospect in the state last year. And touchdown goes awry, another opportunity stop. 3rd down and 6.
These teams are only 3 out of 24 combined in 3rd down opportunities. Oh, what a hit at the 10-yard line. My goodness, Mr. Lavallee was right there. A 6'3", 292-pound bulldozer.
And like Chris Farley said in Tommy Boy, wow, this is going to leave a mark. Tattooed on the ear hole.
Shawn Williams had no chance.
That was a shot. And Chad Lavallee, the SEC's best, splits the gap and makes the stop.
Bostic for the short field goal. And Alabama is on the board from 27 yards away. So the shutout is gone, but a fine defensive play by Chad Lavallee keeps Alabama out of the end zone. It's 27-3 in the fourth quarter. Well, Alabama is on the scoreboard after a short field goal by Brian Bostic. It's 27-3 with 6:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. Bostic's points climaxed a 75-yard march, the best of the night by the Crimson Tide. It took 3.5 minutes, and it used 10 plays.
LSU still holding on to that 9.6 points per outing to their opponent. Tops in the country, just giving up 3 points. And might we see Marcus Randall this series?
Along with Jordy Hultberg and Renee Nato, I'm Lynn Rollins. We are delighted to be in your living rooms on Cox Sports Television. Now the Tigers put their good hands unit on the field, anticipating perhaps some sort of onside kick. But instead it goes deep. And Henderson will work it from the 13 and doesn't get much. Terrence Jones was in on the stop. And we're going to step aside for a moment. With 6:32 remaining in the fourth quarter, LSU out in front, 27-3.
Hello, ladies. They call me Tractor. Me and the Hornets. Did you know I was an NBA player? Oh, yeah. And we love for you to come party at our house. The honeybees are going to be shaking it, and me and the boys are going to be laying down some smooth moves on the floor. The block, the break, the dunk, and the funk.
Yeah. We can skip bingo.
Aloha, college football fans. If your team is not playing for the national championship, you should hope they are heading to Honolulu for the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. Spend the holidays in paradise. Join us December 25th when Conference USA battles the WAC at Aloha Stadium. For tickets, call the UH ticket office at 808-944-BOWS. Hey, Hawaii, it's still your game. Be part of it.
Welcome back, everyone. LSU operates with a 27-3 advantage midway through the fourth quarter, and Matt Monk hands off to Ali Broussard. He's had some nice runs tonight, but not much there. Broussard with 10 carries and up close to 80 yards, so his per-carry effort has been very, very good.
Yeah, he came into the game with a pretty good average as well, and he's was averaging 4.3 yards per carry. And as you mentioned, he had 106 yards against Louisiana Tech, 108 against the Gamecocks, and he has really come on each week and gotten better and better with his reads.
Alabama leads this series, 43 victories, 18 defeats, and 5 ties. But LSU, if it holds on here, will have won 3 out of the last 4. This is the 15th time that these teams have played in Tuscaloosa, and the Tigers are 5-9 coming into the ball game. Now it's third down and long.
And you know, back, people recall when Rohan Davey and company came to town and came away with a 35-21 win in Tuscaloosa, and that's when Josh Reed set that outstanding SEC record, 19 grabs.
Anthony Bryant is limping off there in the bottom of your screen. So he will be replaced momentarily. LSU men's basketball tips off the 2003-2004 season Friday the 21st at 7 o'clock. Southern University is the opponent. Tickets are available through the LSU ticket office and online at lsusports.net. LSU basketball Friday. Did Henderson hold on? Yes, he did. A juggling grab by Debry Henderson.
That was his 5th grab.
Clayton's at 11 tonight. Henderson with 5, Green with 4, Adai 2, and Edwards 1.
It looks a little bit like the Bluegrass Miracle, doesn't it? The way he bobbled and held on.
I'm not sure that ball didn't hit a tied defender.
It touched a couple of hands, I'll tell you that.
All right, I'm going to throw a little trivia quiz at you, Renee.
We'll put on my thinking cap.
All right. Adai is in the ball game. Adai has it. Adai knocks off some rust as he moves to the 42-yard line. How did this team get to be known as the Crimson Tide?
I think because of the size of the players, if I recall. The red uniform used to be known as the Red Elephants. Am I close?
Well, you're kind of close. There, many decades ago, they played a game, I think, against Auburn. And it was a very wet, muddy field. And you're right, with the crimson uniforms in a sea of mud, a sports writer dubbed the Alabama team the Crimson Tide because it either beat or tied a very much favored Auburn team. And so it stuck for all of these decades.
Used to be known as the Red Elephants, if I recall. Or nicknamed, I guess.
On 2nd and long, not much running room. Carlos Andrews made that stop on Chiron Carey. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. The Tigers won't be inclined to use theirs with 3:42 and counting.
Mike Shula talking with his quarterback, Brody Coyle, and move on from here. And he could be a good quarterback before it's all said and done. He came to Alabama as the all-time leading high school passer in Alabama high school history. That record was broken by LSU signee Jamarcus Russell.
3rd and short. Did he hold on? Yes, he did. First down, LSU. So the Tigers convert as Michael Clayton grabs his 12th reception of the game.
That's his career high water mark, and continues to impress. And he'll move up the charts. He was 3rd in the SEC coming into this game and continues to do a great job. You know, the teams, they can't just focus on him anymore with Skylar Green and Devery Henderson. Haven't seen Dwayne Bowe, Buster Davis, but 2 great wide receivers of the future.
Actually, Dwayne Bowe is in the game now. Number 81 coming to the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10. The LSU Tigers operating at the 48. And Chiron Carey is knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Marcus Randall now behind center, and Brian Johnson, Peter Diakowski at offensive line. Clayton, I'm sure we'll see the last of the field as the interior line takes a breather.
Clayton, 12 receptions, 130 yards, and a touchdown. That's a pretty good month's work.
That's pretty normal for him. He's had some outstanding efforts, and at the end of his senior year, expect him to own all the LSU receiving records.
Chiron dragging a couple of Crimson Tide players with him, works his way for 3 or 4.
You know, Chiron Carey likes to get in. Hope that knee is not bothering him, but wants to get into the blow through the offensive line, get into the secondary one-on-one. That's when he's at his best. Not donning baseball caps, so I guess you never know, but pretty sure that their appearances are done for this evening.
27-3, LSU leads. And this will set up a Southeastern Conference Western Division showdown against Ole Miss. Adai dancing in the secondary, and he's got a first down. Charlie Pepra made yet another tackle. He's been very busy tonight.
Mark Anderson from defensive end really made Marcus Randall pay for that one, really unloaded on him after he handed off the ball. And Nick Saban just encourages the troops. Has to be happy with a 27-3, 64 ticks remain.
First and 10, LSU. In quest of another Southeastern Conference victory. Adai tries to turn the corner, and he's sliced down on the corner by Anthony Madison, the right cornerback. 41 seconds remaining. LSU has scored points in every quarter and yielded only a late field goal to keep the shutout or to lose the shutout. There are some of the 7,000 Tiger fans on hand tonight.
May outnumber the Crimson Tide fans at this point, as
Elvis is in the building again.
he's everywhere. You must have left tickets for him.
Barring a penalty, this will probably be the final play of the game. And Mr. Randall takes a knee. So LSU wins in Tuscaloosa for only the 6th time in 15 tries. The final score, LSU 27, the Alabama Crimson Tide 3, as the two head coaches and players exchange pleasantries. Let's go down to Jordy Hultberg.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm here with Skylar Green. What a big factor you have been all season long tonight with another punt return or two, some big-time catches. Talk about the momentum of the team coming off a bye week like that.
We had great momentum coming off this bye week. We came out ready to play, and I guess the guys were just ready to do it tonight. And we did a great job on offense, and I think we just got to keep it going like this.
Where did you develop that knack for being able to see not only the tackler that's coming, but the secondary tackler to be able to set up your blockers and avoid them?
Just instincts, man. I just look where I'm at on the field and just see what I can do with it.
You're having fun, aren't you?
Yes.
Who's next on the schedule?
Ole Miss.
Oh, go get him, baby.
Yes,
go get him. That's Skylar Green. The Tigers come up with a big 27-3 win. You know, this is a Triple Crown race, right? Leg 1 accomplished. Leg 2 next Saturday in Oxford.